So we're in 1983, and you're in the unenviable position of being able to decide whether you go back to Queensland, to Brisbane, to be an exploration manager, or presumably because you've actually been in Tasmania, you've had an opportunity to interact with the university here on a number of occasions over the previous few months, and you become aware of a position at the university.
That's right.
So it was really very, very good fortune that you were in the neighbourhood, as it were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so what happened?
Well, it's an interesting one because my wife wanted to go to Brisbane. She was keen to try something different, and but I have always been, interested in research. It was always in the back of my mind that I might go into a university, and so I saw this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I shouldn't miss. So after a lot of discussion with Marley and the family, then we opted to come back to Hobart.
Excellent. And so this then, in fairly shortly thereafter, well, perhaps 4 or 5 years later, led to the formation of CODES, didn't it? The ARC Centre of Excellence in Ore Deposits.
Yes.
And was that something that Mike had put into motion, or is this all your fault?
I suppose it's all my fault. And it was because of the fact that I'd come from an industry background, and I'd, learnt about running a team of geologists for a particular objective of finding ore deposits. And when I came to the university, it was quite obvious to me that there was very little teamwork going on. In fact, the University of New England had taught me that no one worked together virtually.
It was a bit of a dog-eat-dog environment?
Yeah, a bit of a dog-eat-dog. And it wasn't as bad here, and there are a lot of good people, but they're all doing their own thing. And that tends to be the way universities do operate, although it's been changing. And so my concept was, there's some really big ore deposit problems out there. I had good connections with industry. I could, get support from industry if I could put together a team of people that had a variety of expertise to tackle major problems. And so that was what I attempted to do over the first 5 years or so of being here. So I had some really good postdocs working with me. We then, once we knew we'd won the money from the ARC, then we hired Jocelyn McPhee as a volcanologist to work on ore deposit issues, Bruce Gemmell, who was more of an ore deposit geochemistry person. And the whole concept was, and this was based on working on massive sulphide deposits on the west coast of Tasmania, was to get a group that had expertise in geochemistry, volcanology, structural geology. And Ron Berry, who was in the department at the time, I persuaded him to move away from pure structure into structure around ore deposits, and that allowed us to build a team up that then was the basis of CODES.
And so you became the inaugural director?
That's right.
And you were director until 2012, so that's about 23 years.
Yes, very enjoyable time.
Could you, if you cast your mind back, could you pick out, one or two research highlights you can think of, or you'd like to elaborate on?
It's strange. I don't really think back on that 22 years as research highlights. My main success, I think, was to build a team of people and to develop a process where the young postdocs turned into professors. And Bruce Gemmell, that happened with. They grew to become professors in their own
David
right.
Cook, yeah.
Jocelyn McPhee, and they're now the leaders. So that's the most satisfying thing for me, was to build a team of people that have now gone on to be, leaders in their own right.
And doing excellent research.
Yes, exactly.